And now, please give a warm welcome to our award-winning Bravo host, NBC Channel 4's news anchor, Colleen Williams.
Morning, everyone. How are you today? Well, I'm going to start with a little breaking news. It's going to rain today. I know, that is breaking news around here. And Fritz tells me 3 o'clock this afternoon. So if you're outside, seek shelter. Once again, I'm so honored to be with you for the 20th Annual Bravo Awards. As you all know, Bravo stands for Bellflower Recognizes Acts of Valor and Outstanding Service. And today we're here to recognize 8 individuals and public safety officials who are perfect examples of what the Bravo Awards are all about. You know, too often the people I meet on the news are on mugshots. Seriously, people will say to me, "Do you know?" No, you know what? If you haven't been on a mugshot, I pretty much don't know who you are. It's not something I'm proud of. It's just a fact. If I haven't met you at a hockey game with my son, or you're not on a mugshot, then I really don't know who you are. And that's actually pretty much a good thing if you think about the news. It's why I think we enjoy so much doing things like this in the community. It's why we enjoy the 2 weeks when the Olympics are on. We get to meet great human beings like the people I'm meeting here today, but also when we look at the people who are on the Olympics, people who work so hard, sometimes overcome amazing odds to get to the top of their sport. Young people who our young people can look up to, like the people you are about to meet today. And how cool is this? Young people who, when they stand on the podium and they play the national anthem, they actually tear up. It's cool to be patriotic, and that's the thing we really get to see when we watch the Olympics for the next couple of weeks. Today, we're here to honor a couple of students as well from the Bellflower Unified School District. Their essays tell compelling stories about why public safety is so very important in our schools and really in our community. We're going to start right now with the invocation, followed by the posting of the colors, the Pledge of Allegiance, and the national anthem. Please stand and remain standing through the national anthem, and please help me in welcoming Public Safety Commissioner Alan Morris for the invocation.
That's Colleen Williams right there. But I'm still going to pray. So let's pray. Father God, the heavens and the earth are yours, and this is your kingdom. We thank you for the people that choose as their job, as their profession, to protect and serve, to rescue, to pull out of harm's way. We thank you for people that get out of self long enough to look out for their neighbor. Lord, with so many problems surrounding the city, there's people here that can't find anything that we're doing right. Well, today's not that day. Lord, we thank you, and I'm not here to tell you how many problems our city has. I'm here to declare to my city how big my God is. And Lord, I give you the ceremony, the service, and all the people represented here today. In your name, amen. Amen.
Please welcome right now the elite group of active firefighters from the Los Angeles County Fire Department Honor Guard to present the posting of the colors. And please welcome Mike Broussard, who will lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance, along with our national anthem. And I just want to say this about this young man. Cesar Diaz is stepping in at the very last minute, so hold your applause, but think about that. He stepped in at the last minute today when someone didn't show up, so think about the pressure on this young man and our national anthem.
A tribute to the flag. I am the flag of the United States of America. My name is Old Glory. I fly atop of the world's tallest buildings. I stand watch in America's halls of justice. I fly majestically over institutions of learning. I stand guard with power in the world. Look up and see me. I stand for peace, honor, truth, justice. I stand for freedom. I'm confident, I'm arrogant, and I'm proud. When I'm flown with my fellow banners, my head is a little bit higher, my colors a little bit truer. I bow to no one. I'm recognized all over the world. I'm worshiped. I'm saluted. I'm loved. I'm revered. I'm respected, and I'm feared. I have fought in every battle of every war for more than 200 years. I was flown at Valley Forge, Gettysburg, Shiloh, and Appomattox. I was there at the San Juan Hill, the trenches of France, the Argonne Forest, Anzio, Rome, and the beaches of Normandy. Guam, Okinawa, Korea, Quezon, Saigon, Vietnam all know me. I'm presently in the mountains of Afghanistan and the hot, dusty deserts, wherever freedom is needed. I have led my troops. I was dirty, I was battle-worn and tired, but my soldiers cheered me, and I was proud. I've been burned, torn, trampled on the streets of countries that I have helped. It does not hurt, for I am invincible. I've been soiled upon, burned, torn, trampled in the streets of my country, and when it's done by those whom I've served in battle, it hurts. But I shall overcome, for I am strong. I have slipped the bonds of earth and stood watch over the uncharted frontier from my vantage point on the moon. I have borne silent witness to all of America's finest hours, but my finest hours are yet to come. When I was torn into strips and used as bandages for the wounded comrades in the battlefield, when I'm flown at half-mast to honor my soldier, or when I lie in the trembling arms of a grieving parent at the grave of a fallen son or daughter, I am proud. Please face the flag and join with me. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched, and the and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave for the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Please be seated. Once again, we'd like to thank the LA County Fire Department Honor Guard. They were exceptional. Alan Morris, Mike Broussard, and Mr. Cesar Diaz for stepping in and stepping up at the last moment. I think he did a terrific job, and I just want to say to Cesar, there are times we all are put in that spot and we forget, and if we say that's not the case, then we're not telling the truth. At least you didn't forget your name, which some of us have done, in front of everyone. Now, please welcome to the stage the award presenter. He has been employed with the City of Bellflower for 10 years. He is currently a Community Services Officer in the Public Safety Department. He also just happens to be the 2013 City of Bellflower Employee of the Year, David Buffard. I just realized he's the quiet, silent type. Congratulations on being the Employee of the Year. Let's welcome the Bellflower City Council members. First, please welcome the Mayor of Bellflower, Ray Dunton.
Thank you, Colleen. We're very excited to have you return here to Bellflower to join us today and host our 20th Annual Bravo Awards. And with that, we want to welcome everybody in the audience for coming and sharing what we do here, and we get a chance once a year to honor our special citizens of the year of what they've done of the valor. And Colleen, I know you hosted the Bravo Awards back in 2008, and it's truly an honor to have you join us again this morning. We have watched your excellence in reporting the NBC4 News throughout the years, and we truly appreciate the strong support to our city. On behalf of my city colleagues, city council colleagues, and a special guest seated on the stage, and our staff, we welcome everyone here to the beautiful city of Bellflower. We are so proud for each and every one of our public safety personnel that work tirelessly day in and out to make our community safe. Keep our community safe is our number one priority here in our city of Bellflower, our great city of Bellflower at that. We strive to keep a sense of protection, and we place strong values on our citizens who live and work in the close-knit community that we have. Under the strong, steadfast leadership of your council members, along with our solid partnership with the LA County Sheriff's Department, we can boast the most important fact that the crime in Bellflower is almost the lowest level in more than 40 years. We're a mere only 1.9% shy of reaching a new record low. And for one more good news, Bellflower is the second lowest crime rate among our neighboring surrounding cities. I think that's something to applaud about. That is a really outstanding accomplishment, so congratulations to all the residents, because it's not just the sheriff department that can make crime go down. It takes the residents that live in the community. It takes a community that has to feel safe to be safe. And our public safety personnel here today that have assisted us in making this historical achievement happen, we look forward in honoring and recognizing your efforts in making Bellflower a safer place to work, live, and play. Thank you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for sharing this moment. It's very important to myself and my colleagues.
Okay, I just want to tell you, I'm ticking off stories as the mayor is talking. Crime, the lowest in 40 years here. That's why Bellflower's not in the news. That's why Bellflower should be in the news. All right, Mayor, thank you very much. Please join me in welcoming now Bellflower Mayor Pro Tem, Sunny R. Santa Ynez.
Thank you, Colleen. Good morning. Today is a beautiful day. Today we honor the individuals who take the lead in our public safety efforts, those who strive to keep our community safe and ensure our city is moving in the right direction. To our public safety professionals, to our award winners, and to our generous sponsors today, we extend a heartfelt thank you. Because of the many individuals who work in our public safety in our city, we can be rest assured that we are protected and safe from harm every day. We maintain a great sense of pride for all the heroes in our city, and we applaud the efforts of all the Bravo winners. Come to think of it, without all of you, there's no Bravo Awards, no celebration. We won't be here today. So we appreciate your hard work and efforts each and every day. We also want to thank the men and women in uniform, both locally and throughout the world, fighting to keep our nation safe. To them we say, God bless, and thank you all for coming.
It's my pleasure now to introduce Bellflower City Council member Dan Coops. And the first guy I ran into this morning. How are you?
Thank you, Colleen. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for being here. You probably heard earlier, this is our 20th time we've had these Bravo Awards. So it's something that has just become part of our organization and of our city. And it's so important to, and as you see the videos later, you will see people say things like, Bellflower has that hometown atmosphere. And we hear that a lot, and we're proud of that. And part of that atmosphere is caring for the community. And when your neighbor needs help, the neighbors come out and help you. When we need help with law enforcement, we have people here that their heart is truly in it. We're going to hear from Captain Tom Lang after a while, and he'll talk about having been in the city of Bellflower before he was actually in law enforcement. He cruised the boulevards with us. He was part of our community. And so as a result, I just want to thank you all for coming. Bellflower is not, in terms of income, San Marino, Beverly Hills, we're not A in that respect. But in terms of heart and in terms of things that we do here, in terms of helping each other, we are an A-plus community. Thank you so much for being here today.
Next up, we have Bellflower City Council member Scott Larson.
Thank you, Colleen. And welcome to all of you that are here today attending our 20th Bravo Awards. It's wonderful to see so many friends, you know, and I am getting older. I've been actually on council for probably way too long. Many of you may think that, but as I get older, I find I need help with lots of things like glasses and all that. So even though it's big type, I'm going to... You know, it's wonderful to see all of our friends here and all the participants, the community members that are gathered in the name of public safety. You know, we're a community that's got 4,000 businesses and 77 residents, all of whom call Bellflower home. And we're a diverse group. We work together daily with certainly one common goal, and that is making Bellflower a wonderful place to be. Today, we're here to honor and pay tribute to all the brave men and women in Bellflower that put their lives on the line every day so that we can remain safe. And this commitment is evident today as we recognize when that moment came for these people, they chose the path that made life safer for others. Thank you for your service, your dedication, and for all that you do to ensure that our community is protected each and every day. So thank you all for your coming today. God bless and protect each and every one of you, and God bless our little town of Bellflower. Thank you.
They've saved the most difficult for last. And you folks who live out here know exactly what I'm talking about. Please welcome Bellflower City Council member Ron Schnablegger. Or close enough for government work.
Yeah. Close. Everybody knew who you were talking about. Thank you, Colleen.
But did you?
Yes, yes. Well, She told me when I took a picture she was only going to call me Ron, so just be prepared for that. Welcome, everybody. Our 2014 Bravo winners here today helped save lives, pilot a helicopter under life-threatening circumstances, prevented fires, chased suspects, and build rapport between neighbors by planning neighborhood watch meetings. In addition, we are proud to honor 2 special Bellflower Unified School District high school students for their award-winning public safety essays. They are both excellent role models for the youth in our community, and we are honored to recognize them today. We will also pay tribute to a special brotherhood of men that lost their lives in the line of duty. Thank you very much to our Bravo winners and to all of you for being here today to join us as we recognize and celebrate these local heroes. And I'd like to say one quick thing. This is my first time being on the stage at a Bravo Awards, and it's one of the biggest honors of my whole life, so congratulations to all you recipients.
Thank you, Councilmember Ron. Now we have some very special guests to tell you about here today. From Bellflower's Public Safety Partners, we're very excited to have with us today 2 very strong friends, LA County Fire Chief Daryl Osby and Assistant Sheriff Cecil Rambo Jr., representing the LA County Sheriff's Department. Chief Osby heads one of the largest emergency services agencies in the world, providing traditional fire and life safety services for more than 4.1 million residents in 58 cities in LA County. And if he looks a little familiar to you, it is because he is part of the NBC4 Black Heritage Month PSAs, so he's also a stage and star on the news, the small screen, but I understand he may be moving to the big screen too. So we thank him from NBC4 for that. We might add that Assistant Sheriff Rambo oversees countywide services, including the department's divisions of custody, correctional court, technical services, leadership, and training. Please join me in welcoming LA County Fire Chief Osby, and he will be immediately followed by Assistant Sheriff Cecil Rambo. You've got a guy of stage and a guy named Rambo. How good does it get?
Good morning, everyone. And I'd like to thank Colleen for that nice introduction. And I was just thinking about what she said about the Los Angeles County Fire Department. And one of the items that she articulated was that we're one of the largest departments. But also, one of the things that we take pride in is that we really place emphasis on hometown attentiveness. And it's indeed an honor to represent the citizens and the businesses of Bellflower as it relates to public safety. One of the things that the mayor said as he was speaking is that public safety is the #1 priority for the city of Bellflower. And it's indeed an honor. I see our firefighters in the back from Fire Station 23 and 98 that are here that provide that service each and every day, that every time there's an emergency, our firefighters are primed and ready to respond at the immediacy of an alarm to protect and save the lives and property of people in Bellflower. When you think about the fire service from many perspectives and instances, you may think of firefighters going into burning buildings or doing rescues, but just from a historical perspective in the fire service, and you go back to the 70s in particular, there were 2 major initiatives that occurred in the 1970s. One in this region was the implementation of a paramedic program, which really changed the face of the fire service, which is now, when you look at the fire departments across the nation, emergency medical calls are over 80% of the calls will be going. But another major initiative that was implemented in the 70s was in relationship to fire prevention. And the Commission on Fire Prevention and Control in 1973 presented a book entitled America Burning. And it placed emphasis on 2 issues. One, the extreme loss of property as it relates to fires in this country. And then second, the loss of life and injuries. So from that, in 1974, then President Nixon had a lot of governmental initiatives as it relates to fire prevention, training, and public education to ensure that fire services across the nation are doing all that they can to not only respond to emergency incidents, but prevent emergencies. So today, it's an honor that you'll hear about later that we're going to not give an award to someone that responds to 911 calls, but an award is going to go and be recognized to an individual that works in our Fire Prevention Bureau. And there's probably countless fires, countless incidents and injuries that he was able to prevent by ensuring that the businesses and the residents here in the city of Bellflower were kept safe. In addition to that, afterwards, and it was articulated a little bit earlier, there's going to be another special recognition, and you're going to hear about that later. And it's going to be given to a captain who's also the vice president of our firefighter museum, which also is very in tuned and an integral part of public education as it relates to this community. But it also is going to be a discussion as it relates to the fire service as a whole. As you all recognize, the fire service and public safety is an extremely noble profession, but at times there's instances where firefighters in this profession give their lives to protect the lives and properties of others, and there will be a recognition in that regard. In conclusion, I would also like to thank our partners from the Sheriff's Department as it relates to public safety, and to the other awardees as it relates to your commitment in assisting the Sheriff's Department and the Fire Department and your city of Bellflower as it relates to public safety. So on behalf of all members of the Los Angeles County Fire Department, congratulations and keep up the great work.
Well, good afternoon, I think, or good morning, everyone. I'm here on behalf of Sheriff John Scott. And it's just really a genuine honor and pleasure to be here and join the City Council and the community members on recognizing these folks out here for their service. As your community partners in the Sheriff's Department, we really believe events like this are extremely important. We applaud the City of Bellflower for continuing the Bravo Awards for the past 20 years, and also those individuals who are being recognized here today. In every case, these people have stepped out of their personal comfort zone, either to confront danger, to work especially hard, or to remain especially vigilant, all for the cause of public safety and serving others. These are people and stories that we need to talk about and recognize, because these days it can be easily, we can lose our focus and focus on the bad things in the public that we see every day. A program like Bravo, we get to applaud real people providing real service for genuine reasons. It's truly an honor to join the Bellflower City Council, Fire Chief Darrell Osby, Lieutenant Commander Denver, and the community as a whole in honoring all of you. So thank you for your service, and we really appreciate you. Thank you.
I'd also like to thank Chief Osby and Assistant Sheriff Rambo for joining us today and for all the positive things you both do on behalf of the City of Bellflower. And a special thank you to all the dedicated men and women who are out there today from both the LA County Sheriff's Department and the LA County Fire Department. If you work for either of these two organizations and you are in the audience today, please stand so we can recognize you. Thank you so much for all you do. I know you think on the news we sometimes give you a hard time, sometimes, but we really do appreciate what you do. Today we have a very special keynote speaker joining us to celebrate the Bravo winners. He is a role model and a hero in every sense of the word. Lieutenant Commander Rourke T. Denver has run every phase of training for the U.S. Navy SEALs. He's led Special Forces missions in the Middle East, Africa, Latin America, and other international hotspots. Oh yes, there's so much more. He starred in the film Act of Valor, which is based on the real deal, Navy SEALs, not something made up in Hollywood. This is the real deal here. His New York Times bestseller takes you inside his personal story and the SEAL training program he now oversees. After completing the SEAL's Basic Underwater Demolition Program in 1999, Lieutenant Commander Denver began a 13-year career as a commander and a training leader with the SEALs. In 2006, he was in charge of Bravo Platoon SEAL Team 3 in Iraq. His team conducted more than 190 missions. Lieutenant Commander Denver was awarded the Bronze Star with V for Valor in Combat, and he didn't stop there. Stateside, the commander was appointed Flag Lieutenant to Admiral Joseph McGuire, and one of his jobs was to brief Congress on SEAL operations. I'm sure that was pretty memorable, don't you think? In fact, I'm going to invite the commander when he comes out here to feel free to tell us any stories he might have about testifying before Congress. Commander Denver is an honor school grad of the Armored Ranger School. He was a big deal lacrosse player at Syracuse University. He holds a master's degree in global business leadership from the University of San Diego. And did I mention, he's a California boy. Grew up in the Bay Area. I know you're going to think he's going to walk out here with a big S on his chest, and he probably has that. He just hasn't shown us yet. Ladies and gentlemen, Lieutenant Commander Rourke T. Denver, about to pin on Commander in just a couple of weeks. Commander Rourke T. Denver.
Thank you. Wow, thank you. Please, thank you. There is nothing worse than a standing ovation to start. I mean, you realize now at best I break even. Like, unless somebody throws their clothes off when I'm done. Like, that's the best I'm going to do, but I appreciate it. Thanks, Colleen. Thanks, everybody that's here. I mean, I'm humbled to be amongst this group. What I can tell you about briefing Congress, if there's something to talk about, is that you hear at events like this, everybody always starts by saying, I'm honored to be here. And I feel like that word honor, gets slung around a little too much, but not in a room like this. In a room where people wear that on their sleeve and earn it every day, it means something. So I'm honored to be amongst you. I'm honored to have some time to spend with you, and it feels like a family affair. I mean, talking to some of the fire chiefs and senior leaderships, my brother's an LA County firefighter, so I wasn't even up here, too many years ago when I got to watch him as an honor graduate and a distinguished speaker at his academy graduation, and now he's working his butt off for you guys. So it feels like a family affair, and it makes it all the more special. I get to do this, travel around and talk, but to do an event like this is much different than kind of my normal speech. So I'm going to talk a little bit more from the heart, some things I've learned from my time on the line and amongst SEALs, and hope that resonates with the folks in this room. So I'm going to talk about service, I'm going to talk about resilience, and then I'm going to give you 2 secrets that I learned in training. So when it comes to service, I feel like service, if you put in an equal mark, service, what does that equal? I think it really comes down to love, and I say that very, very sincerely. I think service equals love. I think it's love of those folks you serve with, and then those folks you serve for. There's a writer that I've met several times that's written several books about deadly force engagements. I'm sure there's a good number of the police, I would hope police and sheriff maybe, that have heard him speak. I don't know if fire's the same. I hope he gets out to you guys. But his name's Colonel Grossman, and he talks a lot about deadly threat encounters. And one of the passages he shares, I'm gonna pull from him. He got it from an old war dog, I think from World War II era, but I think it kind of plays on this crowd. This soldier told him about the way he kind of divides and breaks up the world. He kind of breaks up the world into 3 categories of groups, okay? The first category is sheep. Now, bear in mind, this is not a negative thing when he says this. What he means is the flock. He means your regular kind of populace, folks that go to work every day, take their kids to soccer, go to school, lawyers, doctors, soccer moms, folks that work at Starbucks. These are the sheep. It's not a negative. It's not a negative. It's just the folks. And then he distinguishes this other group, which are the wolves. And the wolves obviously prey on the sheep. The wolves are your villains, are your criminals, your terrorists. They're evil. And the wolves make the sheep's life uncomfortable. And from time to time, the wolves attack and really make it uncomfortable. But there's a third category, and the third category that he highlights is sheepdogs. And the sheepdogs protect the flock. So they're there to counter the wolf. They're there to fight the wolf when it's required and to take care of that flock when the flock is threatened. And the thing that's interesting about being a sheepdog is that every once in a while when the flock's not threatened, folks will look up at the sheepdog and say, man, it's kind of got those forward-looking ears and eyes, it's got canine teeth, it's got long hind legs, kind of looks like a wolf. And so we enjoy as guardians and as protectors kind of this strange balance between being, I think, a revered member when it's needed, then also a semi-misunderstood entity when it's not. But I can tell you right now, when I look around the room, I just see sheepdogs. So it's a pleasure to be amongst you. The other thing I'll talk about when it comes to being a sheepdog or kind of serving is the fact that there's this quote. I love quotes. I love to read. I love literature. And one of my favorite quotes about war that I ever heard, and I think it applies, and folks in this room will know what I'm talking about, is that a warrior fights not because he hates what's in front of him, but because he loves what's behind him. And that, in my mind, is what it's about. I get emotional when I think about family, because that's who we do it for, right? I mean, if we didn't have this beautiful flag to come in and bow to no one and to fight for, then what would be the point? There would absolutely no reason to go in harm's way if there wasn't something to fight for. And so to the families here, I know for a fact you are the class in this act. You're, what we do this for, and you pay the tax. I mean, for the folks that don't come home, particularly in my line of work, from the battlefield, and exactly so as we'll acknowledge later, you pay that high price for that service. But we just thank you for your support and your mentorship and your guidance to help us be who we try and be every day. The next part I want to talk about is resilience. And so I think this is a fundamental part of doing these challenging jobs. I ran SEAL training, about 12 years after I went through all the training myself in the tactical units. And so when I got to SEAL training, it was very interesting to see the other side of the fence, to see why we do what it is we do to the candidates. And about 75 to 80% of the young lions that show up at SEAL training do not graduate. They don't finish. They say, you guys are crazy. I don't want to be that cold, wet, and miserable again. I'm out of here. And they quit. And one of the reasons that happens is we make it unbelievably hard. We only want a certain caliber type of guy to get to the finish line. And one of the things I learned as an instructor was this idea. I kind of coined this phrase as an instructor that I called random acts of instructor violence. So I'm going to share with you what that means. So BUDS is hard. SEAL training is hard, whether you're doing it right or wrong. If you do it wrong, it's really hard. But at the end of every day of training, which feels like a lifetime, an instructor will tell the senior leader in the class to say, hey, tomorrow morning I need the entire class at 0600, 6 a.m. at the pool deck. I want you to have your masks clean for diving. I want you to have your knife sharp so you can handle any emergency. I want your fins at a 45-degree angle and everybody standing in ranks. Do you understand? Yes, beat it. And then the guy runs away and the class prepares. If we show up as instructors and the class is kind of trickling in at 0603, 2 guys forgot their knives, 3 guys are still sleeping, you could pretty much guarantee how that day is going to go for that class. It'll be I don't know where the levels of hell start, but somewhere down here is what that day is going to be. But the interesting thing is some days we'll show up, and we'll show up at 5:58, and the class will be there. I mean, in perfect Marine Corps drill, silent drill team ranks, knives as sharp as razor blades, masks glistening in the morning sun. I mean, they almost have a smile, almost a smug smile on their face, knowing, yeah, we're here on time, we got you. And we'll smile back, and then we'll say, congratulations, gentlemen, you did it perfectly right. And then we'll beat them worse than we beat them the day before. Just horrific. I mean, beat them twice as bad as when they failed. And what happens is you'll find a bunch of folks that just say, this isn't fair. This isn't the way that should have gone. We did it right, and we got punished. And the lesson is, in our line of work in particular, you can do everything perfectly right, and it can go catastrophically wrong. And the acts of violence on the battlefield are random, but they're actually violent. So we want to develop this culture of resilience. We want guys that, when we load a helicopter to go rescue our teammates that are up against a wall, and that helicopter goes down, 17 more guys are going to get in the next helicopter and go take care of that one. We need to have that bred into the folks that we have. And I know that is the fiber that runs through the people that serve in this room. That resilience is key. The last thing I'm going to talk about is I'll share 2 secrets. When people ask me, what have you learned from SEAL training that you can share that won't, be given a playbook to our enemies or is worth talking about. And really, it's kind of 2 secrets, and I've distilled them out, and I think they're much bigger than the tactical world and really focus on life. And that is the first of those is the secret to a rich life, a wealthy life. And in no means do I mean money. Nobody in this room is getting rich doing this job, nor did I in my job and service. But the secret to a rich life is good company. Good company. And the folks in this room know what I'm talking about. The type of person that will sacrifice himself for you, sacrifice himself with you, and be there for you no matter what the cost. That is the secret to riches in my mind. The secret to a pain-free life is number two, secret to a pain-free life. And that's thinking of others before yourself. I think if you think of your life in the context of service towards others, to think of others' discomfort, their suffering, and their needs above your own, you won't feel a day of pain in your life. This is a magical secret, and I recommend it. Not only just doing it in uniform, but for everybody. Think of others before yourself, and you'll never be uncomfortable. It's a secret. I'm going to wrap up because I know we got a lot of people to acknowledge, and I don't want to take too much more of your time, but I do believe this very special covenant exists between a nation's service members and its civilians. And I think this covenant is only fed from one off the other. So for those of you that are wearing uniform today, I'm honored to be amongst you and feel myself very, very humbled to be in your presence. And for those of you that support, for those civilians that are there doing their part, also just making, their company run, the sponsors that are here, you're all giving us something to fight for. And that's really the magic of what this job's about. So I'm humbled to be with you. If I can be of service to any of you in the future, please call on me. I'll do it in a heartbeat. And I thank you so much for your time. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you very much. Yeah. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
What a great way to put it. I've learned we are wealthy and we all have pain-free lives up here. I'm confused about one thing, though, the random acts of instructor violence. I'm trying to figure out how that's going to work when I get back to the newsroom. I'm just saying, I may try to incorporate that. But thank you again, and congratulations on your promotion. A month, you said? Pins it on in the month. How many years do you have in? 14? You going for life? A lifer, I guess, is the term. As long as, so in a couple of years, we'll be talking about Admiral? We'll see? Okay. Anybody want to take bets on that? I've got the over-under. We'd also like to thank the companies and individuals here who helped make the program responsible today or possible. This year, 37 sponsors joined us in supporting all of our heroes. We're pleased to have many of them with us today, and we are so proud of your community spirit. Here is a video montage of some of the sponsors. Take a look.
Platinum sponsor, CR&R.
Kenny's Auto Body and Towing.
Kenny's Auto Service is proud to sponsor the 2014 City of Bellflower Bravo Awards. We'd like to thank the men and women of the Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department, Los Angeles County Fire Department, and our armed services around the world. We'd also like to congratulate today's winners. And with that, we say bravo.
Gold sponsors.
Empire Transportation and Pronto Fleet Maintenance.
Uncle Junk's Genius Juice.
Kaiser Permanente. Silver sponsors, Elshire and Winder.
Boggs Realty.
George Chevrolet.
Southern California Edison.
LA County Supervisor Don Kanabi.
Bronze sponsors.
Bravo sponsors, please stand if you are in the audience so we can recognize you one more time. Once again, thank you so much. It is time now to honor the Bravo Award recipients. As your video ends, this is for the recipients here, please make your way to the right of the stage to accept your award, then stop because they're going to take a few thousand photos up here on stage. So, with that being said, let's get started. Our first Bravo winner is the Neighborhood Watch Captain of the Year, Russell Thompson. He has served as the Neighborhood Watch Captain for 4 years. He organizes meetings. He also created a neighborhood website where residents can post concerns and ask questions. Let's take a look at some of the things Mr. Thompson does as a Neighborhood Watch Captain.
Well, I got involved in the Neighborhood Watch program to help establish a good base in my neighborhood. Yes, in addition to Neighborhood Watch, I hold the seat with the Public Safety Review Committee, and I'm a District 2 rep for Neighborhood Watch. My capacity as Neighborhood Watch Captain is just coordinating meetings and trying to make my neighborhood a little bit safer. In order to get neighbors more involved in the Neighborhood Watch program, I've created a neighborhood website that really helps. You can post concerns, questions, things you want to sell, things you want to give away. I think public safety in Bellflower is doing real well. Over the last 7 to 10 years, I think they've made a big difference. I think Neighborhood Watch is important. It helps people get together and meet one another when on a daily basis you're really busy and you have a lot going on in your lives. It helps to get people to know one another and share your ideas and concerns. I work with Kenny's Auto Service, so I deal with the sheriff's deputies every day, and I enjoy it. Well, for National Night Out, the people really enjoy the water fight, so that draws quite a crowd at my place. As far as being named as a Bravo winner, I appreciate the fact that others recognize what I'm trying to do in the city.
Mr. Thompson, thank you for getting involved. Good to go. Thank you very much. On the evening of Saturday, June 29th, 2013, Deputy James Colbert detained a man regarding a drug investigation at a motel. This happened to be going down on Lakewood Boulevard. Now, while conducting a pat-down, the deputy detected a gun and had to think very quickly. Let's listen as he describes what happened next.
Basically, I was at a motel in the city of Bellflower. I saw an individual I wanted to contact. Motels are known to be somewhat high crime areas, and we like to contact people and make sure that they have business in the area and they belong at the motel to make sure everyone there is safe. When I contacted him, I realized during my contact that he had a firearm in his waistband. During my contact, I had to think through several different options as far as what was going to keep me safe, the suspect safe, and the citizens staying at the motel and the surrounding houses. I decided that the safest course of action would be to try to safely and quickly handcuff the suspect before he can get to his firearm and harm anybody, whether it be myself or anybody else. While trying to secure him to make sure that he wasn't running into the neighborhoods or could harm anybody with the firearm I knew he had, he turned around, he hit me. During this time, we ended up on the ground in between two parked vehicles. This whole time I was fighting him, trying to do everything I could to secure him so he wouldn't get to his firearm and so I wouldn't have to use mine. During this incident, it was very scary. All I could think about was going home. I have a wife, I have 2 kids. I wanted to make sure that I was safe, but I also didn't want to harm anybody in the process. I didn't want to harm anybody using a firearm, whether it be the suspect or anybody else in the area. You know, motels, people stay there all the time, and you know, there could be up to 100 people staying there. This is an area where it's surrounded by residential houses, and we're trying to avoid that route. So during this altercation, I was eventually able to safely handcuff the suspect. I was able to ask for assisting units to come assist me, and we're able to secure him and get the firearm without having to hurt anybody or use any deadly force. I became a law enforcement officer because I think it's a great job. You're out in the community, you're always talking with people, whether it be, you know, just a friendly hello or to help them with big or small situations. When I heard I was going to receive this award, I was very excited. You know, I told my wife, she was very excited. It's nice because, you know, this is a job where you work a lot of hours and you're there all the time, and, you know, it's nice when you receive an award and somebody gets to see that, you know, you're out there, you're doing well, and, you know, it kind of gives some appreciation that, hey, you're home all day with the kids because I'm out, you know, trying to do good. And so I was very, very excited and very happy I got the award.
You know, as he's getting his award, I just want to say that's a scenario that most of us could never even fathom. But certainly hearing it firsthand from the deputy and seeing the emotion in his eyes really gives us a better understanding of what you guys do, what deputies do, what firefighters do every single day they go to work. So thank you for your service. We'd like to recognize now a special member of the LA County Fire Department, firefighter specialist and fire inspector, Brent Times. Let's watch as Inspector Times explains how he works to reduce and prevent fires in the city of Bellflower.
I've been a firefighter for Los Angeles County Fire Department for 21 years, and I promoted to engineer in 2006, and since then I've been an inspector for the city of Bellflower. My duties entail annual inspections of the bigger buildings, business license, fire prevention, public awareness, doing my annual inspections, making sure that the businesses are fire safe, making sure that their equipment is up and running, and making sure that the fire area around their stores, businesses, homes is safe for them and the public. Working in Bellflower has been exciting. It's been fun. I kind of like the hometown feel that this city has, and I think by doing fire prevention, I think it's really given me a good grasp of my job. And I like the residents, I like the business owners and working with the city because it gives me feedback. It tells me that I'm actually doing my job right. What gratifies me most about being a firefighter is the fact that I help people, the fact that I make a difference, and doing fire prevention, I really see it. And it gives you that feeling of worth, and that's what I like. Well, when I was told that I was a Bravo winner, I thought, well, it's just another day at the job, but I feel that I'm appreciated now for what I'm doing. And I see that working with the city of Bellflower, the people that work here are kind of on the same level with me, and they're really, a really nice place to work. So I'm glad that, somebody appreciates what I do, because I appreciate what they do.
Let me just say, Inspector, they not only appreciate what you do, you've got your own cheering audience out here. So, congratulations again. On the afternoon of Sunday, August 19th, 2013, 84-year-old Bellflower resident Marina Swan noticed it'd been a long time since he'd seen his neighbor, John Foreman, who lived just across the street. So Marinas and his wife started checking around. Remember, you always need a partner in crime, so he went to his wife. Now, the two of them went to the front door, no answer there. Then they went around back and basically broke in. And thank goodness they did. Mr. Foreman needed help. In fact, he might not be alive today if not for his neighbors. Let's listen in as Mr. Swan explains how he keeps a watchful eye on his neighborhood.
Well, I got a habit with open the door in the summertime, the front door, and kind of watch the neighborhood. So John got a habit of walking his dogs and his cats. Cats walk him, really. He hadn't been out of the house for that morning. So I was kind of suspicious about it, but then in the afternoon, late in the afternoon, he came out and he was kind of staggering. So the next morning, he didn't come out at all. So that's when I told Kay again. She went over and then she went to get the neighbor to help her get into the house. Actually, before that all happened, she did knock on the front door, but she couldn't hear John hollering. But he was already down and out, really. So that's when the neighbor and Kay went into the house and found him laying on the bathroom floor. So that's what actually they called 911, and they came out and they took him to the hospital. When he talked to Kay later on, next day I think, he called her his angel, because she kind of saved him, I guess. Well, we're in a friendly neighborhood and neighbors look after each other. Oh yeah, it's, I'm grateful to receive that award, and it kind of recognizes what you're doing, you know. So,
Mr. Swan, you're exactly the kind of nosy neighbor I want in my neighborhood. I love that story. And I'm sure Mr. Foreman was pretty happy to see you when you guys finally got inside. Mr. Swan, how long have you been married to this lovely lady? 56 years. Well, congratulations. I'm serious. If you guys ever want to move, not that I think you would because it's such a lovely town, but you guys are the perfect example of the neighbors that you want to see on Neighborhood Watch, or the neighbors you want to see who see something, say something, who don't just say, you know, it's okay, we haven't seen him for a couple of days. You took action, and that's a great story. Officer Michael Dreyer is a 15-year veteran of the Los Angeles County Probation Department and has been assigned to the Bellflower substation for the past 4 years. And I am told he is a big reason gang members are not too excited about moving into the neighborhood in Bellflower. He is instrumental in identifying local probationers and parolees and connecting them to various crime trends in the city, which again, I'm sure, Mayor, is why crime is down in the city of Bellflower. Let's watch as Officer Dreyer shares more about what his job as a probation officer in Bellflower entails.
Well, I'm assigned to the special assignment team, so I work in conjunction with the Sheriff's Department, and we do probation compliance checks. I do search warrants with the deputies. We do bench warrant pickups, thing of that nature, and then I also just research different probationers in the city and their possible connection to any crime problems that are going on. 4 years ago, when I got here, it seemed like no matter what time of the day you drove down Eucalyptus, there was overt gang activity, gang members hanging out in front of the apartments, a lot of gang-related graffiti. I don't see that anymore. You can drive down almost any time of the day or night. You don't see anybody. You don't see anybody hanging out there anymore. I think that's a good thing. I think the people have reason to feel safer. Obviously, it doesn't happen overnight, but I think if you look back over a period of a couple of years, a few years, that you definitely see a change for the better, and so that's gratifying that I'm having some kind of positive impact. Well, I'm just really humbled. I'm not used to. I'm humbled and I'm thankful. You know, it's just. We work as a team, and everybody out there is probably equally deserving, but it's nice to know that you're appreciated for what you do.
I can almost see the bumper sticker now for the gang members. Officer Dreyer has your number. On Wednesday, September 18th, 2013, LA County Sheriff's Department helicopter pilot, Deputy Will, are you there? Okay, help me with this. We had a discussion back there, so I'm just going to bring it out in the public here, in the open. Is it Towdy or Tiowdy? Towdy, got it, because I want to get it right. Deputy Will Towdy and his observer, Deputy Chuck Gonzalez, responded to a 911 call of a man with a gun. The call was apparently made with a cell phone, and so deputies couldn't figure out the exact location of the suspect. While hovering above the area, Deputy Gonzalez noticed a woman running down the street with a child. This is where their story begins. Let's take a look at the video as Deputy Gonzalez and Deputy Towdy tell the story.
We were on routine patrol, and I was alerted by my partner, Chuck Gonzalez, that he had heard a call of a spousal assault involving a firearm in the city of Bellflower. He directed me to the location. He said that there wasn't specific information regarding the exact location, but it was a general area, and he was en route to help the deputies localize the source. Apparently, it came in over a cellular 911, where they're unable to track the exact address as a landline 911, where your address would pop up. He localized the area with the assistance of the ground units, and they began searching a few residents where we believed it was coming from.
When we came overhead, I was scanning the area and then immediately noticed below us there was a female with a child running frantically out to the street. So I immediately contacted the deputies who were a couple blocks away and told them what I saw and that we needed to come down and get a hold of the female and ask her if she knew what was going on, or at least where the location was. Unknowns to us, when we were overhead scanning, the desk said that they had heard shots being fired. So immediately, you know, your heart goes out to the fact that the desk is actually hearing live gunfire. What we didn't know at the time, the live gunfire was at us.
We stayed in the orbit as we continued to be fired upon. And we both consciously decided, we spoke with each other, that we felt more comfortable staying here because, again, we're a very difficult target, moving a helicopter at 500 feet above the ground. And the deputies and the citizens on the ground are very easy targets. So if he's preoccupied shooting at us, we have two advantages. We're going to cause him to waste ammunition on us, number one. And number two, we're giving the deputies on the ground an opportunity to localize that gunfire and ascertain where he is. We stayed overhead until they were able to identify the location, and eventually the suspect gave himself up to deputies that were on the ground without incident.
Will and I work very well with each other, all the guys at the Bureau do. You know, you have the observer and you know, you have the pilot, and it's just a straight communication of me talking on the ground, Will seeing my body actions to know where I'm looking, putting the helicopter in that position so I have the best view, and then me relaying to Will the information that I am getting, and you know, whether we need to go up, wider, cut it a little tighter, you know, so just the communication and how we're supposed to handle this call, it's crucial.
Because the communication was at such a high level, Chuck did an exemplary job of making sure that from his observations, the deputies had a clear picture of what he was saying. And then the deputies on the ground, I can't speak highly enough of how well they performed in getting information to us, allowing us to better understand what they were seeing so we could focus our attention in a way that would result in a positive end. And it's exemplified by simply the fact that this individual himself was not harmed. It was handled in such a fashion that he realized the walls that he'd have to overcome to be on the winning side of this scenario were too great. And he only had one option: to give up. And that was because of the tactics and the communications used.
I'm grateful for the city of Bellflower to be able to, you know, actually honor us and recognize the work that we do and take the time to actually, you know, do this whole ceremony. So I'm very appreciative of it.
I'm very flattered. It's an honor beyond words that I can find at this time. So I am flattered and I am honored by that.
What a team, what a team, what a team. The one thing that stood out with me there was, gee, if he was shooting at us, he wouldn't be shooting at anybody else, and maybe he'd run out of ammunition. Congratulations, you guys. Amazing story. What the deputies did really shows the best of LA County Sheriff's Department, and we are happy to recognize them with the Bravo Award today. Wait a minute. Mr. Gonzalez. Stop. I just have a little question for you. So does your wife know or does your family know that the rest of this story? No. So they don't know that you were like the sitting ducks up in there and you chose to do that? Yeah. Okay. She's not here today. What she doesn't know won't hurt her? No. All right. Well, congratulations. You guys are exemplary. Yeah. Yeah. You didn't tell anybody who's going to let the secret out, you know. Today we have the honor as well of recognizing Chief Tom Lang for the distinguished service he offered the city of Bellflower during his 35-year career with the LA County Sheriff's Department. He served in Bellflower's area, was a strong advocate for the people here. Now let me just ask, is he in the audience right now? Okay, so I have an update on that story, if you will. The breaking news is that, yes, his daughter-in-law is in labor with his first grandson. So, let's listen in as the chief shares with us what it meant to serve in the city of Bellflower.
I had the pleasure to work in law enforcement, and specifically with the Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department for 35 years. And specifically in this community, it's twofold. As a member of the Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department, I served as a field supervisor at a Lakewood station, and we served the great city of Bellflower. And during that 3-year tenure, I was often in this city, not only as a supervisor, but also as an engaging member of activities and events that occurred here. I then had the opportunity to come back approximately maybe 25 years later as a division chief, where now I had oversight of 7 sheriff stations, including Lakewood Station, which again proudly serves the city of Bellflower. But my service beyond as a member of the Sheriff's Department really goes beyond that. I was raised just south of here in the Long Beach area. I went to Milligan High School. I worked at the Lakewood Mall, and I spent many years driving around the boulevard here and getting a haircut down the street here and joining my grandparents at Moffitt's Chicken Pie Shop. I pursued a career in law enforcement while I was attending Cal State Long Beach. Initially, I wanted to be a member of the FBI. And I believe at that time you had to have a business or an accounting degree, and I was taking some accounting classes. But I took an interest in law enforcement. Matter of fact, one of my first professors in the criminal justice courses there was our now Sheriff Lee Baca. I met several deputies, and I just was very impressed with that business and that side. And I wanted to be in public service, and I wanted to more so be local. So I pursued a career in law enforcement. I was blessed to be hired by the Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department, where I proudly served for 35 years. I've been in this community since a young teen, and I witnessed it just coming through here. I always felt safe. And I witnessed the leadership, and I witnessed the community who like living here. I believe we truly can say today, because of so many components, and we're proud to be part of that from public safety perspective, this is a place you can live, you can learn, you can work, and you can play. And people like keeping it here local. That means they feel safe. I want to thank the city of Bellflower for taking the time to recognize me with this very prestigious award, the Bravo Award. I've attended these ceremonies for many years, and I've seen the men and women in public safety, both Sheriff's Department, the Fire Department, and local community members for what they've been recognized for. I'm honored to be among that company.
Tom often says it's like looking in a mirror when we're looking at each other. It's crazy.
Our final two awards are being presented to two outstanding Bellflower Unified School District seniors, students who wrote inspirational essays relating to public safety in the city of Bellflower. Let's take a look at Sydney Gao from Bellflower High School and Eileen Tovar from Mayfair High School.
If there's one thing that my city has taught me, it is how to genuinely care about people and their safety. I feel blessed to have grown up in a community where everyone is willing to help and protect each other. Residents of Bellflower truly embody what we are known for being, as the friendly city. It is our responsibility as citizens of Bellflower to continue making this community a safer place for people to live. As a Bellflower volunteer, I have witnessed people's capabilities of making positive changes in our city. I am proud to be part of the city that has so many wonderful people who are willing to go far and beyond the call of duty to protect the welfare and safety of our residents and community. We all have the potential to contribute in being not only the friendliest city, but the safest. I know that we can achieve this through more community involvement in our neighborhoods, improvements in safety and security, and with the support of our local sheriff's department.
In my 12 years in living in Bellflower, I found that it is a wonderful place to live. There are great family parks, fun recreational activities, and very friendly people. The community we live in, however, is safe if only the residents who reside in it feel safe. One way to create this feeling of safety within the community is to simply develop friendly, comfortable relationships with the people around us. The small act of stopping and saying hello or hi, of cultivating friendly interactions between neighbors, creates a sense of togetherness that all people associate with safety. If we know that people who surround us, the community will be built upon an unshakable foundation of trust and healthy independence. When we were children, we all wanted to perform a heroic act of bravery, whether it was becoming a firefighter to demolish burning flames or fighting crime as a superhero. We simply wanted others to give us a grand bravo. In terms of creating a safe community in the city of Bellflower, however, residents do not need to go out of their way to make a difference. Small, simple gestures such as saying a friendly hi or adding a touch of greenery are all it takes to create a community that values the feeling of safety.
When I found out I was the winner for the Bravo Student Essay Contest, I was very excited and I couldn't believe it. I just felt it was a great honor to have won this award.
When I heard I was a Bravo Student Essay winner, I'd opened the mail. I had no idea what it was. I was so excited. I ran outside and I was like telling my mom and dad, oh, look what I won. I won the essay contest. We were putting up our Christmas lights and everyone was like, yay! Like, I was super excited. Yeah.
Congratulations, Eileen and Sydney. That is your future right there, Bellflower. Sydney, Eileen. So you guys are both seniors, correct? Where do you plan to go to school?
If I get accepted to UC Berkeley, I really want to get into Columbia University.
And what do you plan to study?
Environmental policy and management. I want to study journalism.
Can you wait a couple years till I retire? Anyway, congratulations to both of you. Your parents must be extraordinarily proud. We are, for you. Congratulations. At this time, we'd like the mayor to come up to share a few words and to talk about a special presentation.
Thank you, Colleen. What about a round of applause for Colleen for doing just a wonderful job? Bravo Bellflower and its residents and its community. To conclude the Bravo Awards program today, we have a special presentation for the Los Angeles County Fire Museums Association. You might be aware the Fire Engine Museum is located in a temporary facility on Flora Vista Street here, just off of Bellflower Boulevard. Bellflower has been working with this establishment to put a permanent home of a Los Angeles County Fire Engine Museum on Bellflower Boulevard at that grass lot that's next to the train station. And it's been like a chess game, and we're just about there to have all the pieces in place to have that done. And possibly in a couple years, it might be a reality. And I believe that may be one of the biggest things that happened to Bellflower and for its future. With that said, for Joe Wojak, the fire captain and vice president of the Los Angeles County Fire Engine Museum Association, the project hits close to home. Wojak is working on a display honoring firefighters who have lost their lives in the line of duty. His son, Kevin, was a frequent volunteer of the Fire Engine Museum. The 21-year-old firefighter died June 30th, 2013, along with 18 members of the Granite Mountain hotshot crew at the Yarnell Hill Fire in Arizona. This was a loss that many in the community felt locally and well as nationally. Kevin's father, Joe, raised $87,000 in a recent charity auction to support the museum display and in the permanent Fire Engine Museum building to honor the fallen 19. At this time, I'd like to invite Joe on stage here and maybe say a few words and pictures and Joe, thank you for being here today. The City of Bellflower would like to honor and pay tribute to your son, Kevin, and his 18 fallen brothers by presenting you with this memorial plaque that will be displayed at the Fire Engine Museum. As the inspiration on the plaque states, they set the standard of courage, commitment, and fortitude. From my heart, Joe, and my colleagues in the City of Bellflower, we say thank you. And would you like to say a few words?
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, City Council, Chief Osby, Sheriff's Department, Mr. Denver. Your story is incredible. Colleen, thank you. Not a good public speaker, so you have to excuse me. All I can say is thank you to the City of Bellflower. I call it my Mayberry. Where do you work? Mayberry. So thank you very much. I haven't seen that.
Thank you, Joe. from City of Bellflower's heart to yours. And during rehearsal yesterday, I saw this card here made with holding this plaque. I've been looking at this plaque for a couple of weeks in city manager's office, leaning against something. It's quite heavy. I looked at that card and said, where did that card appear from? And leave it to Joe. When we showed him the plaque and whatnot, he managed to think we need something to present this plaque on because it's kind of heavy to carry. Joe made this card, bolted the plaque on it. Imagine that. That's, to me, losing a son. Imagine to do something like that for him, that's special. That's strong, and keep on going, Joe. We really appreciate it. Thank you.
I can't begin to tell you how this story has touched me since I first heard it. Perhaps it's because I have a son who is the same age, but none of us can fathom the loss that you experience. But I will say this, being out here, is that you have a community and you really do have a brotherhood. And so that is the only way I could ever fathom getting through this. So to all of you, you know, you are extraordinary here. This is a community. Thank you to all of you who have taken part in the awards program today. And I want to remind our award winners to come backstage because there will be more photos. Thank you again. I am honored to be included in this. Congratulations to all the Bravo Award winners, and I hope that we can get some of these stories out. Please call us at the station because, again, so many of the stories we do are not the stories that we necessarily want to see on the air. But I don't know about the 2 deputies who flew in the chopper and took fire so that the deputies on the ground could get away safely, so that the lady with the child in her arms. So if we knew about these stories, trust me, we would do them. Those are the kinds of stories that we get as much back doing as we hope the audience gets when they see them. So once again, thank you so much. Just a little bit of business here before we leave. A reminder, there is a complimentary lunch provided by Ham Bones Restaurant that will be served outside under the tent. Thank you so much for being here. Once again, thank you for including me, and we hope you have a great day.
And it wouldn't be right if the mayor didn't present a bouquet of roses to Colleen Williams for coming back for another gig. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you again. They'll look so great in my new cubicle at Universal City. We have new digs. I invite you to tune us in. It's kind of a new, we've moved into the year 2014. Thank you.